Angela Rayner is great at not being able to answer simple questions, something all of the Labour Party have in common. In today's video, we will watch footage of a stunned Angela Rayner make a fool of herself, as she can't name a single company that supports Labour's employment bill. This is painful to watch. In today's video, we will watch and react, whilst also going over all of the latest news from up and down the country. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and join our fast-growing community. Just a quick one to say we have new Make Britain Great, again t-shirts available on our store. Go grab them now. They are available at britishstand.com or check the link in the description. But first, Reform UK MP Lee Anderson has lashed out at the police after a man who made a threat against his life was spared jail. The Ashfield MP said in an interview, "The case is a prime example of two-tier policing in action." He said, "This was a case picked up by our parliamentary team here in Westminster, and I wasn't made aware of this threat by the police until a month after. This man could be lurking around in London. He's made a vile threat against a member of Parliament, and it's took a month for police to actually inform me. We're on red alert, some of us MPs. We're always looking over our shoulder, worried about going to work, and especially in the city as well, with things that go off. I just don't think it's good enough. I don't think they're taking the safety of certain MPs from certain political persuasions seriously enough. It's absolute nonsense. It's weakness. It's spineless. It's pathetic. It's two-tier policing." The threat, which was posted to X, said Lee's time was up and he was going to track him down and kill him. After the direct death threat, he was arrested but not charged. The police wrote to the Reform MP explaining their decision, saying they had no reason to think the threat was real or viable as a threat to kill. The man making the threat had no previous convictions. Now on to Angela Rayner as she appeared on a BBC interview and was unable to answer basic questions. Have a watch.
Economic activity at risk. I'm just saying, do you think you would have a rethink on it?
Well, I think that there was an imbalance, and we spoke to many businesses. They've been working with us to get the Employment Rights Bill forward.
Can you name a company, a few of them, that have welcomed these proposals?
Well, we've worked with many of the companies.
Name a few.
I've worked with so many of them on this. I've had many roundtables, as has the business secretary, and they've very much welcomed the work that we've been doing on making sure that people...
You must be able to name a few, because I can name all the companies, the recruitment companies, Hayes, Manpower, Randstad. They've signed the letter saying this is the wrong approach. You're going to put jobs at risk. Which are the companies that have welcomed your employment rights?
Well, like I say, I've spoke to many companies. We've had many roundtables with them, and we've been discussing it, and they've acknowledged that there has to be a balance and broadly welcomed it. We've made changes as opposed to, for example, on the probation periods when we listened to what business said. So we have the probation periods as well alongside the balance of rights from day one.
Will you get me a list of those companies, and then we can call them and say, do you welcome Angela Rayner's proposals?
Well, there's been many of the companies that we've worked with, like I say, so many of them.
What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments. In some other news, a British man has been arrested in Thailand over allegations he raped a 6-year-old girl, following an investigation by UK authorities. A 30-year-old man from Leeds, West Yorkshire, was detained at his residence in the coastal resort of Pattaya on Tuesday morning. The arrest came after the National Crime Agency, NCA, in London identified Lawrence through video evidence of alleged child abuse. Police stormed the suspect's rented home at the Private Paradise Pattaya condominium block, where he was living with his Thai girlfriend. The NCA launched their investigation after tracing alleged child abuse content to Lawrence's phone, which included footage reportedly showing him assaulting a young Southeast Asian girl. British investigators worked closely with Bangkok's Anti-Trafficking in Persons Division to locate the suspect. Thai authorities analysed the video evidence and compared it with various locations in Pattaya, alongside social media posts, to track down Lawrence. Police believe Lawrence had connections to the victim's mother, and the alleged assault occurred when the girl was 6 years old. The investigation culminated in an arrest warrant being issued for raping a minor under the age of 13. During the arrest, footage showed Lawrence emerging shirtless from his bedroom, followed by his partner wearing a silk nightie. A translator present at the scene read out the charges, ordering the man to kneel and confirm his identity. The translator explained the severity of the accusations, stating, According to the illegal conduct you have done, there has been a charge of rape, statutory rape, of another individual, by force, by threat. The charges specifically noted the offence was against a minor under the age of 13 years old, which is not your wife, not your legal wife. The translator further emphasised that regardless of consent, the charges stood due to the victim's age and inability to resist. The man was then formally arrested and escorted to a waiting police van. Investigating officers later informed the victim's mother of the arrest and presented evidence, leading to additional complaints being filed. Police Lieutenant Colonel Kiatkong Thongkam said, "The suspect denied all charges and refused to testify during the arrest. He was detained at the police station." Thailand's Central Investigation Bureau, CIB, issued a stark warning. This is a warning to Thai women who seek foreign partners through various online channels to be careful of the dangers of paedophilia. They described paedophilia as a mental disorder that causes patients to be sexually interested in children who have not yet reached puberty. The Bureau emphasized the importance of being aware of and protecting against dangers that may arise from those who behave in this way. The man remains in custody as investigations continue. Lastly, since Labour took power, attendance in government offices has dropped, with 13 departments reporting fewer staff on site. Official figures show a decline in office presence since Sir Keir Starmer's election, especially in key departments like the Treasury, Housing and Justice. This comes as the private sector moves in the opposite direction, with major companies now requiring staff to be in the office 50% more than last year. The Ministry of Justice has seen the sharpest decline, with attendance dropping from over 80% in July to 57% in September. The Treasury's desk occupancy fell from 69.5% to 64%, while housing saw a decrease from 74% to 70%. Meanwhile, the Department for Work and Pensions saw attendance fall from 67% under the previous government to just 58% under Labour. In contrast, private companies are pushing for more office attendance, with 50 large businesses now requiring employees to work an average of 3 days a week in the office. Barclays and Boots, for instance, have seen positive results from mandating full office returns. Critics, including Shadow Cabinet Office Minister Alex Burghardt and Reform's Richard Tice, have condemned the trend, calling it a failure to lead by example. Tice warned that falling attendance and rising public spending are a nightmare for Whitehall. However, a government spokesperson defended the figures, pointing out that office occupancy in the July-September period was 69%, an improvement over 57% during the same period last year. While some departments failed to meet the 60% minimum target, most remain above this threshold. After a peak of 75% post-election, attendance has stabilised at around 72%, indicating that many civil servants have returned to remote work after an initial burst of office activity. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comments section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British political content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.